Right, okay, welcome back to the next episode of Exehaven Harbour. And by way of a change, and I kind of need to do this for space purposes, I am building a double road engine shed by Modelux. I bought this some time ago when I bought a girder bridge from them. Thought it looked like a good product. I've been online a couple of times. There's a couple of YouTube videos on how to build it, and to say the least, people were saying that there were no instructions and so on. Well, this one did come with instructions, but I've read through some of them and they seem okay, if a little bit complicated. So I'm about to start this now. Here are all the constituent parts for it. And from what I've seen online and photos that Modelux have done, it looks quite a detailed model. So we shall see, and we'll take it from here. Right, okay, so that's the first stage done, which are the roof trusses. Now, I've got to say, it wasn't the easiest job in the world, and it has taken me probably, I don't know, 2 hours to do this, to get it to that sort of semblance. It took me about 20 minutes to understand the instructions, to be honest, although it was, it is pretty self-explanatory in some respects. But I didn't want to miss anything, and to be honest, once I'd read them, I kind of got on with it. So hopefully I've done it the right way. It looks like the right way. Now, there's meant to be, there's 1, 2, 3, I've used 4 trusses so far, and I've still got 1, 2, 5 trusses left. So I may add another couple, because I haven't got the spacing quite right there, because I actually thought it was, it was longer than it was. Again, a little bit confusing. The sheets, I think, actually show the 00 version, or the 00 gauge version, which I understand might be slightly different to the N gauge. But anyway, we've got to this stage, so I mean, I do like it. I think it's nicely detailed. So we'll leave that to dry off for now. I'm going to have a bit of lunch, and then we'll get on with the next bit after dinner, or after lunch. Right, okay, so moving on a bit, I've ditched the the instructions, taken some of these apart because originally those pieces there were attached to the girders. Then I realised that I did actually need all the girders because they need to be slotted into the side of the building. It doesn't say that till very late in the instructions, and actually it's better to build the sides of the buildings, put the girders in. I'm just waiting for them just to dry off before we attach them to this side, which will straighten up, obviously, the girders. They're gluing down as we speak. But yeah, it's just been a real pain. The instructions not very good. So I'm sort of going going freelance, as it were. Obviously, I haven't filmed much more because I've been pulling my hair out, really, trying to work out what was what. So in the end, I just decided, right, I mean, the instructions do say how to put the individual bits together. I wish I'd done the sides first, then the girders, then those bits. Obviously, the ends have got to go on. Also, I've, you can't see them now, they're actually gluing under my phone there, but there's some roof sections with glass in. I've got my own cellophane, so that's where we're at with that. But anyway, I'll come back to you in a little bit once we get the other side on. Right, well, there we are. That's as far as we've got today. It's looking okay. It's not working quite out as to plan, and there's a couple of bits that I don't actually like. So, I'll show you those in a second, but we'll just pan you around to the sides here. So, it looks pretty good. It looks okay. I'm quite happy, actually, with that. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to fabricate my own roof for it. using some of the parts that we've got over here. So those are the window sections for the roof. Those are the sections that I made up, where are we? I've lost some bits here. Oh no, there they are. Those are the bits I made up earlier for the top of the roof. These bits I'm not quite sure of because they don't seem to mention these in the instructions. These bits here, now they front or edge the entrance pieces here, which look quite nice in themselves, but I don't like that sort of like brick kind of shape, and these are meant to, well they do, they fix into them, but it just doesn't look good. So what I'm going to do is I started cutting out my own. So that will be the next thing to do tomorrow. What I'm going to do is going to download some brown brick from Scalscene, sorry, and we'll take it from there, and we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, I think the kit itself is okay, but it just it has been a real pain to put it together, and the instructions. So I'm going to fabricate, like I say, a roof for myself. I really do like the structure. I think the internal girders are brilliant. I'll get you down there like that. There we go. And yeah, pleased with that. So we can make something out of that, I'm sure, and we'll make that look quite realistic, I think, in the end. Especially for Engage. I'll just put my finger by it just so that you can see what size it is. It's like, there you go. So there is enough for 2 rows in there, just. But yeah, it is quite small and very delicate at the moment, so I'm not going to fiddle about with it too much, so we'll leave it at that. Right, okay, so we're going to make the entrance because I don't like the entrance that come with the kit. I've printed off some brown brick from Scalscene, sorry, and I've got my template there. I don't know whether you can see the pencil lines up there. I'm going to cut that out, and then I'm going to transfer it to that card because it's slightly thicker. Some of the packs of card that I've got from a range, and that's where we're at. So I'll come back to you once I've got sorted. Right, okay, so I've now cut those out, and I'm relatively happy that they're all pretty much the same. There's not much in it, and I shall get to the point shortly. I'll cut out the brick paper, which I have printed on sticky A4 sticky labels. And the other thing I'm going to do, the kit didn't come with, I'm going to have a little experiment. These will form the doors, and I'm going to score some lines in as if they were like made up of wooden planks. So we'll have a little look at that a little bit later once I've had a little play. Right, so slightly sidetracked. I got involved in just seeing what I could do with the engine shed doors, which didn't come with the kit, but I've made them myself out of some cardboard. So I've put the bracing on that side, and this will be for the outside. Now I've scored the cardboard to make it look like wood planking, and I think it's actually come out okay. So I'm going to leave it at that for the minute, and then I'm going to actually paint it up just to see, because if it looks like a load of rubbish, then we won't be using it. But I think so far so good. To the eye, it looks pretty good. Now I'm looking at it through my iPad camera, it looks okay, but not as good as the naked eye. But then that's often the case. Right, I'll leave it there, and I'll come back once I've painted it. Right, okay, so we're moving on a couple of days now, and this was the outcome of the painted doors. Well, the one on the left is made of card, which I rather like, and to the naked eye it looks really quite good. In close up on here, not too bad, needs a bit more painting down the bottom there by the looks of it, but it did warp and go a bit funny on the front when I painted it. So I then moved on to, I've got some plastic card sheets, so I've scored those and I've spray painted them. I've done the grey primer first, and then I've painted them in burnt umber. Now again, to the naked eye they look absolutely great, because there's a little bit of the grey showing through, which I kind of think gives a bit of a weathered look, and it doesn't look too bad through the iPad camera either. But as yet I haven't done the other side. It was a test just to see if I could get these cut right and to the right size and cut nicely. So I have, and there are the actual doors that are going to be. They've got to be scribed yet with the wooden planking, but I shall do that in a bit. I have moved on a little bit with the engine shed, and I have got the two ends that I made fabricated and bricked up, or using brick paper. Scousings brick paper. It was the brown brick, I believe, which is a reasonably close match to the sides. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my pastels out and weather it all up so it'll all blend in nicely in the end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get on with the doors. I think I've got some the glass roof panels to go in, and I can't find the other bits that I had for the kit at the moment. I don't know where they've gone. So I'm going to do the doors for a bit, and then I'm going to have a hunt round for the rest of the kit, and then we'll take the roof from there, I think. So I'll be back to you in the next segment once I've got on with it. Okay, so I spent a good half an hour scribing 8 of these so that it looks like wood planking. I've then cut out these 2mm wide strips of styrene, which I've then been cutting down into this. So this forms one of the doors. I've been using my Northwest short line cutting machine. I don't know if we can get a better view of that. There we go. Which is very handy for this. Even like the little mitre joints in the corner, although that one looks like it's come out, it hasn't. It's just a shadow in there. Sorry about the camera work there. But yeah, so another 7 to go. So it's quite easy. This styrene sheet that I had was about 1 millimetre thick, and like I said, I've cut them into 2mm strips, and I've used my larger knife, this one here, larger craft knife, to do it, cut it. Just made sure I had a new sharp bit on it, and then went from there. So that's where we're at. I'll come back to you once I've finished it all. The engine sheds, I found all the other parts for it now, so I will get on with that. But in the meantime, I've been doing the doors, so that's where I'll be for now. Right, so there we go. All the doors are made up now. All I'm doing is waiting on the primer to dry, which shouldn't be too long, and then we'll paint the doors in a burnt umber colour, and we'll see how they look once they finish. Right, okay, as for the engine shed, I'm now debating whether to finish it off or just have it as is, because all I was really looking for is the footprint for now, because I do intend to put some lights in there eventually, and I don't really want to make it more awkward by putting a roof on. So I may very well just leave it at that, and we'll just put it in sort of an area of the layout that it's going to go around the dock area of Exehaven Harbour, and we'll take that from there. Right, okay, so there goes, what, another 3 weeks. Not huge amounts to show for it, but I've been working away, but obviously being the summertime there's lots of other stuff to do, and you know, trying to get to the evening shift was quite difficult. So I'm quite happy with what I've done, but you know, obviously it's just one of those things that, like, as I've often said, gets in the way, and I can't be constantly doing the model railway as much as I'd like to at times. So the steam running session today was for Paul Smith, I hope you enjoyed that, Paul. I know that you made a comment last time about it, and I thought that's a good point. I'll run some steam today, just to wrap this video up for this week. Hopefully I'll get another one out in 2 weeks' time. But if I can't, it's because other things have got in the way. So hopefully you'll have seen the engine shed finished in this episode. Or, well, it'll be as finished as I'm going to do it for now. I just want to get it in situ on the layout just to see how it all fits in. I've got a couple of lovely kits from Germany, which are a couple of warehouses, which I'll be starting soon. And I'm also doing a scratch build of a Great Western Goods warehouse based on the one at Poplar. So that's to follow, but that'll be over the period of the next few weeks. As for track laying, I'm having a little break from that because I want to make these models just to see how much room I have, because there is another warehouse that I'd like to buy, and if I can fit that in, I'll be having it. Okay, so take care everybody, speak soon, stay safe, all of that sort of stuff that seems to be easing off at last, and like I say, we'll see you again soon. Cheers for now, bye.